俺はルフィ、海賊王になる男だ。
It's a great day here at KEKFILA's YouTube channel. I'm your host, the KEKFILA, and today I'm facing against a Rebecca. I believe his name was Clayton. The only reason I really remembered it is because people told me after the game, hey, this guy has won a championship somewhere. So, obviously, super redeemed player, plays in a very dark location online, and he's playing Rebecca, which is also edgy. He's also 3-0 with it, so which I'm also kind of scared of. This is kind of a interesting matchup, I would say, and if Rebecca bricks, I just win, but Rebecca doesn't brick very often, so I will show you how this game will go, and we'll take you through that little journey. I may skip through some parts here, but if you guys are liking the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, because the next video is gonna be hype as hell, and we're going from there. I believe he wins the die roll and he chooses to go second. We'll look at exactly what he does. So with that, we go to our turns. I go first. I don't play anything, and then he goes, and I think I would choose second if I was him, or if I was me, if I won the die roll. But he does that. I believe he gets a Orlumbus. No, he gets a 5-drop. And I just swing 8 at him. I had nothing to do. I don't need to play blockers. Blockers are useless here. In this scenario, I need attackers. So I swing 8 at it, kind of making it hard for him to Rebecca skill. He needs to play down cards in order to Rebecca skill. So he actually plays on 2 blockers. And that's already pretty good, pretty annoying to me. And I don't really know if I really even have an answer to that right away. So I then just throw 1 under my leader, swinging 6. He actually decides to block it, not give me a 2K. And then I play down a Sanji. I'm going to attack with this Sanji. This Sanji is going to attack. And I want to make it like really annoying for him too. So, you know, he plays down that card. He ditches 2 cards out of his hand, a Luffy and a island there. And he then uses Rebecca's skill, grabbing a King Kong gun. I'm glad these 10 drops are also going in the trash. Very, very good. I have to deal with those in the future. So I decided to 3,000 roll to Sabo. And then I swing 8K at his leader. And then I decide to actually just pass turn. I don't want to deal with him swinging at my Sanji just yet. So again, he places down the Rebecca, grabbing a card of some sort, right? And then places down Orlumbus, uses Orlumbus skill, KOs the Rebecca, milling 2 cards, and playing down the Leah, which is going to KO the Sanji. Didn't really get value out of the Sanji, unfortunately, but, you know, at least I got him to use one of his skills and start removing cards. He mills his other 10-drop, getting, I think, a 1K or 2K counter in hand, and you know, he's getting quite good value here. I actually start swinging with my 5, my 9 Dawn turn. I'm going to start playing down my 9-drop cards. I need to get rid of this Orlumbus. So Orlumbus is super freaking good. I play down the Yamato. I KO the Orlumbus. And then I just pass my turn. I have 6 in hand. And again, I just want to build up big cards, swing big at him, and make sure his Orlumbuses are off the field. Make sure his 10 drops are off the field. And then make sure he also just, his Luffy's don't get insane value from me. So he actually does play down a Luffy, and he does a King Kong gun. So King Kong gun Luffy, he's gonna be able to swing this twice here. He counts out his trash. He has like 16 cards in trash, 17 if you include the King Kong gun, which that does count. So with that, he swings a big ass at my Yamato. It dies. He restands it, and he's not gonna want to give me 2 cards. But he stacks his deck, and I have to really think about what cards he's going to be putting in here as well. And he doesn't do them in this certain order, but he shows me the cards, and I say, okay, looks like you put a lot of little blockers in there. He's going to organize them in that certain way and put them back in his deck, and that actually will come up in the future. That set of 7 cards will come up in the future. So I then 9-drop, removing the Luffy, and then also swinging 6 at him. He decides to give me a 2K counter. So then he plays out a 10-drop Kuzan. That's all he does. And then passes his turn. I actually don't know what to do here. I actually decide to Sasaki. This is actually super good. I put so many cards back in there. I want to get rid of this Kuzan. So I need to see a red rock. I have not seen a red rock yet, and I'm hoping to essentially get lucky. This is probably the best Sasaki play you will probably ever see. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So my opponent, I'm like, how do you want me to cut the deck? And, I do it in this order, and I draw 6 cards, and I go, well, I guess I'm lucky. So I'll pay 6, and I'll remove the Kuzan, and then I swing 6 at his leader, and he gives me a 2K, and I swing 9 at his leader. He's going to take this one. So I'm actually starting to provide some pressure here, and we go from there. He then does the top 2, and then grabs the toy soldier. There's a Olympus, KOing that and lowering this, and he's going to 3,000 worlds. This really, really strong gameplay from him, to be honest. So with that, I go to my turn, and I have, again, 10 Dawn. I don't really have much else to do. So I'm thinking, well, I want to get cards out of his hand. Let's swing 5K at him. Give me a 1K. Blocker. Pretty freaking strong. I swing 7 of him. He takes this one. And then I decide to play down 7 to Soja King. Put their Olympus back in your hand, please. Because I don't want him using that for free. And I ditch a 3,000... Oh, a Gum Gum Rain and a Pound. I don't need any of those. I've learned from my Pound mistakes in the past. My Pound mistakes in the past. So with that, my opponent, he goes to his turn. He thinks here for a moment, doing a big think. He uses Rebecca's skill first. He's thinking if he wants the blocker or the King Kong gun. And at this point, he's kind of he knows what cards are where they go where. He first plays down the Kyros, milling 1. And again, it's another blocker from that. And he swings 5 at the Sasaki. I give him a 2K counter. I kind of want him to give me more. Plays down the Olympus. Olympus swings for a big, and I'm thinking, well, the Sasaki's pretty good, but I guess I could just let it die. So pretty bad. But I forced that out of him. Again, this Olympus is pretty freaking strong on my end, from his end, right? And I really want to really pressure down his whatever he's got going here. And he's gonna be, he's been playing a lot of cards now, right? So I actually swing a total of 10 at his leader. I'm starting to swing at his leader. I'm trying to just pressure his leader. I swing 11 at his leader. I need him to commit to either playing down blockers or playing down a 7-drop Luffy and clearing field. He can't do both. So I'm forcing him basically to play down blockers. And I have a lot of removals. So that's kind of the thought here. So from there as well, my opponent thinks here just for a moment, and a big think of things. He does play down a Sabo, and he does draw 2 cards. He ditches 2 events from his hand because he definitely needs the block. And he kind of actually explains to me you can use our Olympus skill, which obviously completely legal, and not KO something because of Sabo skill. I didn't even think that interaction, which is honestly super freaking juice. So my opponent then goes and he uses the Olympus skill. He mills 2 from Olympus, and I'm now like a 3 cost, right? So he needs to bring me down a little bit more in cost in order to go in there. But my opponent, 1 blocker is really, really scary. He needs to have a 2nd blocker out. He goes first 5 at me. I actually take it. And then he goes 5 again. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want to get King Kong gun next turn instantly. So I'll just do that. So he 3,000 worlds of this. Uses leader skill and grabs, it looks like a Rebecca. He grabs a 1K counter for some reason. I guess he really wants to mill through his deck. And I red rock that Sabo, and I swing 9 at him. And he gives me a 2K, and a 1K. So, pretty simple turn for me. All I can do is remove and then swing big. And he has to commit to playing blockers or doing this. I actually ask him to count the cards in his deck. This is a very, very interesting... Yeah, so... cards in his deck, I ask him please, and I'm like, okay, I would put that to the bottom of the deck, I put that to the bottom of the deck, put that, and he put 7 cards. So I'm thinking he's gonna reach this very soon. And I'm worried about those 2-drop blockers he put to the bottom of his deck, actually. So I counter out 1K, counter out again, and he plays on the Sabo. He draws 2 and discards 2. And, you know, again, his deck's really low. I'm not worried about him decking out at all. That's not what's happening ever. But essentially, you know, I'm trying to calculate when he reaches the 7-drop Luffy or the 10-drop Kuzan there, and his other little blockers. You know, this deck is honestly, for strategies, really consistent when you think about it. So plays a Rebecca, looks at top 3, and he mills out a couple cards, grabbing this. He plays out Rebecca's skill, grabbing the 2K blocker. He's really reaching down here for his skills, and he's thinking, okay, what do I put here? What do I put there? He's trying to remember how many what he stacked his deck with. It's kind of funny. Trust me, I've done this before too. It's not like a big deal to spread out your life out. So he grabs the Luffy actually, and then he pays another one to play down a Rebecca. So he wants to make sure he doesn't deck out. He grabs a blocker and plays down the blocker. He needs to have 2 blockers, so I can't just remove and then kill him, right? So makes a lot of sense, especially when his hand's a little bricked up. So I kind of have like a weird scenario here where I actually don't know how to proceed, but I need to at least just attack his leader with a big attack. So I first placed down my 3-drop Doflamingo Don Quixote. I will tell you, this setup was pretty good from the top 5, but it had 3,000 worlds. That's the important thing. I had 3,000 worlds, which I could use. So that's why it was good. And then I decide just to swing a big old donkey 12 at him, and he blocks it with a single blocker. He has 2 cards in deck, okay? We're gonna do some math here. 2 cards in deck. He has 2 cards in deck. He kind of may know what 2 of those are. I definitely have bottom decked some cards recently, but it's definitely not one of these little 2-cost blockers. So he first plays Luffy, swings 7 at the blocker, killing it. I let it die. And I'm looking, okay, what cards is he putting in there? He's putting a lot of 2-cost blockers in there. And, you know, he's basically can stack his deck at this point. This is actually, spoiler, this is his crucial mistake he made on this turn. Okay, this is the crucial mistake turn. So, again, he goes through this. He looks through things as well. And he has 3 done up. He actually, this is his mistake. I'm going to pause for a second. Again, now he has 9 cards in deck. He uses leader skill, Rebecca. And with that, he looks at the top 2 cards of his deck, which he should kind of know what they are, but let's say he doesn't know what they are, right? He just stacked the rest of his deck. He could use Orlumbus skill first, milling 2 cards, and then use leader skill, grabbing one of the 2-cost blockers. But he grabs a Sabo. He probably may realize his mistake now, but again, it's honestly, I mean, trust me, I'm known for mistakes. So he swings 5 at me. I'm not going to lose this turn, right? Swings 5 at me again. It's fine. He's not going to attack with the Luffy. He has 2 Dawn up, and I'm like, well, my only play is to 3,000 worlds the blocker, and then kill you. So, so we'll first pay 4 to 3,000 worlds. Okay. And then I will then add 6 to my leader and swing at you for 11. And he's like, yep, you got it. Yep, I have enough counter in hand. So, honestly, I kind of showed top of my deck. It's pretty cracked, but he's going to kill me that next turn if I didn't kill him there. But yeah, that was the game. Honestly, pretty nuts, pretty good. And I was super hyped. They told me after who this was, and he's a big deal. And, you know, I got pretty lucky there. And, you know, just you gotta get lucky in order to win sometimes. So, with that, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching the video. Again, I will be at Pasadena, and I will also be in Fort Worth, Texas. Come up, say hi, ask me how I'm doing, and say, hey, I hate your videos. Hey, I like your videos. Whatever is clever. So, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I may have... Oh, I should probably promote this more. I'll promote Jules Senpai stuff more soon. Just make sure you check out my Twitter. Thank you everyone so much for watching again. See you in the next one. Ciao.